Yeah, it's so early, this most of the bills.
People are smart, they try to get the bills immediately out after Thanksgiving. Because they know it just drags.
Well,
Now, you heard what you just said. If it was
We're good? Call meeting, St. Mark Borough Council to order with pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, Roll call, Robert Banks here, Michael Fritz is not here. Reggie Law is here, Allison Ibach is here, Susan Eggert is here, Dave Eggert is not here. Steve Ibel's here, Barry Kinsey, the mayor, is not here. Ty is here, the borough engineer, Reverend Benson is here, Warren is here, Jones here, Derek's here. Is there a motion to approve the November 10th, 2022 Borough Council minutes as presented, or is there any clarifications, corrections, or additions to the minutes presented?
I'll move we accept them as printed.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to approve the borough minutes as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Approval and payment of bills. Before you will see expenditures as of December 7th. Out of the general fund is $81,038.94. Sewer funds $15,316.26. Fire tax fund is technically a disbursement because it's tax money. $27.50 each to Mount Penn, an extra volunteer fire department. Liquid fuel tax fund has $0 as expenditures. Is there a motion to approve payment of the bills and expenditures and disbursements as presented?
No, motion to pay the bills as presented. Second.
Motion been moved for payment and disbursement of taxes as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. For the monthly treasury report, we show total cash available $443,667.67. Total cash available in reserve account $100,557.12. Total cash available in fire tax fund account $9,499.05. Total cash available in the sewer fund $87,586.07. Total cash available in liquid fuel account $232,045.89. Is there a motion to accept the consolidated treasurer's report as presented?
I'll move we accept the consolidated treasury report as presented. Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to accept the treasurer's report. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Seeing we have no one from the public attending for any presentations, if we get any input from anybody remotely on the internet, we'll interrupt wherever we're at and bring them in as a presentation. Also, as public comment, we have no one from the public here. Once again, if we get a comment on the internet, we will go ahead and interrupt whatever we are and bring that in. Consultants report, borough engineer.
Yeah, the only item on my list is a plan that we received from Daniel Molnar. They've shown the location of the floodplain. They moved the building back, I think, 5 feet. But they did not change the size of the building. And they have not addressed our letter dated October 12, 2022. My recommendation to Allison was to issue a letter stating that until we receive a application for a minor subdivision, that we would not review this plan. But if the borough wishes for me to review it, that's fine. I will review it. I have no problem reviewing it. I just think that we should get an escrow in so that the engineering fees are covered.
It's getting a little bit more complicated. He wanted to rebuild the house, had this huge garage. Some of it was in the floodplain. Now he got rid of the house and nothing but the garage is showing. You can't have an ancillary building as your primary structure and without the setbacks. So that just messed it up even more. So at one point, it just seemed push us all the time and let him talk to his engineer consultants on it.
Right, and he is represented by an attorney as well, who should be filing things.
The plan does not make reference to the existing structure that's being removed. It just shows that there is an existing structure. So there's no reference as to whether it's existing, being removed or what.
So essentially the plan is not complete with the presenting what's there or what's to be there, etc.
Right.
Typically you would have areas like to be removed, to be added. It's just, Not complete. All right,
So, at direction from the board, I will write a letter, stating that we need to have an application and escrow put in place.
there's a motion by council to follow the engineer's recommendation, to establish an escrow account, and we'll let him start communicating with the applicant to try to get a complete plan.
I'll make such a motion.
Motion moved and seconded to establish an escrow account and let the engineer interact with the consultants and attorney for the property owner. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes.
Unless there's anything else in my letter, that's all I have.
Thank you much. Borough Solicitor,
Okay, one item, and that is, we got the decision and order from the Public Utility Commission accepting the settlement in the rate case with Pennsylvania American Water and Wastewater. So that matter is completely resolved. And that's all I have, unless council has any questions.
outstanding. Did the mayor leave a report? No.
He just said happy holidays and he's sorry I can't be here.
He called from the emergency room at the hospital.
Is he gonna be in discussion with him? Did it sound like he was gonna be admitted or anything like that?
He said he wasn't sure.
Okay.
We're coming up with a treatment.
He's had a bad reaction.
I'm assuming he's gonna get admitted.
I was gonna suggest if he's gonna admit it, maybe we send him something, you know, some flowers and get well or something like that. Out of Berks.
Okay,
Out of manager's funds. You know. Excellent. Department staff reports, Borough zoning code enforcement officers report. Nothing to report.
Now, hopefully, everything's been somewhat quiet, except for Mr. Molnar.
That's Todd's problem now. Public Works, sewer, the roadmaster, anything to report?
My report is attached, the PennDOT project for State Route 560 has begun, we're tearing out the curb ramps at various intersections for replacement handicap ramps. They're gonna be moving forward that as weather permits, they will have a estimate, or they will have an expected winter shutdown. And then they'll restart anything that isn't finished in the spring with anticipation of paving at the end of May, but they already think that's gonna get back to.
Well, they have a May 31st deadline, but they think that that's not realistic.
They have a May 31st deadline to start,
To finish. They don't think they're gonna get the temperature, so that everything's night work for the borough. They don't think it's gonna be warm enough to put down asphalt per PennDOT specs.
What comes hot enough from the plant is getting it out of the truck.
Getting it down.
Yeah.
And the temperature should be 40 degrees, right? Not less than 40 degrees in fall. It's not.
Anything from finance? Manager's report? Committee reports, emergency management, Dave's not here, didn't leave a report, library, anything new? On the library front?
Next Monday.
Municipal lands, anything new? Recreation, planning commission, zoning hearing board? No. General comments? Hearing none, public meetings, we have announcements for next year's, we would have council meeting on January 12th at 7:30 p.m. This is not a reorganization year. Borough offices are closed January 2nd and the 16th. Planning commission will meet January 25th. Old business still on your table, reestablishment of the Exeter Township Fire Advisory Board. Still no movement on that.
Correct.
Just leave it ride for next time. New business discussion and motion on adoption of the final budgets for fiscal year 2023. We have the general fund, sewer fund, fire tax fund, and liquid fuels fund.
They were preliminary adopted in November, and there are no changes. They have been advertised, they have been posted.
And we haven't gotten any input, public input on after the public leak. Okay. So we need a motion to adopt our 2023 final budget after the initial posting for general fund, sewer fund, fire tax fund, and liquid fuels.
They have to be all separate.
They can all get them all.
All four?
All four.
The short form version is within a minute.
Is there such a motion?
I'll make a motion that we adopt the final budget, for the general fund, the sewer fund, fire tax fund, and the liquid fuels fund.
There's been a motion and a second to adopt the final budgets for the general fund, the sewer fund, the fire tax fund, and the liquid fuels fund. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, hearing none. Item B, under new business, motion to advertise the 2023 meeting schedule, Borough Council and Planning Commission. Deep in the back, you should see the second Thursday of the month for Borough Council and the fourth Wednesday of the month, except for November, December.
Which is the
Third Wednesday of the month, if there is no business to conduct, there will be no meeting. So is there a motion to advertise our 2023 meeting schedule for council and the planning commission?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? Motion been moved and seconded to advertise our 2023 meeting schedule for council and planning commission. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passed.
Allison, you can do that.
Yeah.
Item C, motion to authorize the signing of the agreement for joint building with Berks County for 2023 real estate and fire millage taxes.
And that's authorizing you to sign. It's an election.
That is an elected official.
And that's a joint billing we do every year where we split the cost of mailing the bills out. So it saves us money.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to authorize signing of the agreement for joint billing with Berks County for 2023 real estate and farm village taxes. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Item D, motion to adopt resolution 870-2022 to establish the 2023 real estate and farm millage tax rates.
Has no change.
Has no change from
Last year, and if you have no change, you don't have to do it as an ordinance. Which is what they used to make you do every year, it was an ordinance. Now it's just a resolution because of no change.
Yeah, the borough can clarify it that way.
Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to establish the 2023 real estate fire village tax rates.
Motion been moved and seconded to adopt the resolution 87-2022, establishing our 2023 real estate and farm millage tax rates. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Item E, motion to adopt resolution 871-2022 to reappoint Kirsten Livingood to the zoning hearing board for a 3-year term expiring on 12/31/2025.
I will make that motion.
Motion been moved and seconded. Just for clarification, how many zoning hearing board meetings were there last year?
No. She actually hasn't sat through a hearing yet, I don't believe.
In her first 3 years, she hasn't sat in it.
She took
Oh,
over.
she took over.
She took over that term, but she's looking forward to there being some.
Good for her. The motion has been moved and seconded to adopt resolution 871-2022 to reappoint Kristen Livingood to the zoning hearing board for a 3-year term expiring 12/31/2025. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion passes. Item F, discussion and motion to adopt resolution 872-2022, banning all hunting on borough-owned land. So,
They're concerned that arrows were flying through somebody.
and a borough employee went up, saw a tree stand, which was pointed possibly or more directionally towards houses than into the woods. And so that became an issue. And then, I don't know how we really enforce all that when it's not being done adequately. So is the question just ban all hunting and we don't have these problems?
But you still have the problem.
Well, we don't have the liability because we don't.
Is there a liability if we allow hunting on our properties?
Well, there could be a liability, anybody can sue anybody for it. Let's start there. But if you passed a resolution and it's posted no hunting and someone is doing it, they're a trespasser. And you're in a lot better position if someone attempts to bring a bird than if you allow it. Understand that there is a protection against liability of property owners with unimproved land under Recreational Use of Land and Water Act. So there is some protection already, but again, I think that it's more ironclad if you have it posted. Not that the posting, not that it's always going to be watched, but if you have posting the way it needs to be under the statute, no hunting allowed, then you staked out your position clearly.
I think previously we sort of allowed bow hunting because we wanted to have a deer population control, which we need. I mean, I'd almost rather hire a hunter to do that, and there's some agreement where the liability now changes off to that person too.
And so, there are areas that do that, like Charles Evans Cemetery will hire.
And I have no idea where we can find that person, but I'm sure there's some.
Yeah.
So,
To do game control management.
yeah.
Right. And you want to also have, if you're going to do that, you want to warn people publicly the days that that's going to take
Correct,
place.
right.
Because people, when they see signs like that, they have some reassurance of no hunting taking place.
Thoughts?
There are a lot of our residents that do archery hunting up there and do it safely.
But we have to commit the resources because the downside would be someone gets hurt, someone's property gets damaged. Then we're gonna be on the witness stand somewhere saying, how many times you go up there to watch this? You know, is there some sort of, how do you know who's up there and when they're not up there? I mean, I understand that part, but it's almost easier, I think, to say no hunting. And then someone come to us saying, hey, let me hunt there. This is what I will do, and we write an agreement, whether it's for money or no money, in order to do that. Because then moves that we've hired someone, even if it's for $1 bill, to go hunt. You know, or it could be a group. You know,
Yeah.
I just
Where they've had that, they've had groups and they have to have passed, proven they've passed courses in.
So what other, do you have other municipalities
The only other municipality that I'm aware of that allows some hunting is Amity Township, allowing bow and arrow hunting at Monocacy Hill. And it's gone on safely and successfully.
Yeah. Greg, anything else?
Well, as long as we can have people to, like you said, people to do the hunting after we said it was like we hired them to do it.
Well, yeah, I would almost rather have something we hired or enter into agreement for some group to come in and then they tell us exactly how they're gonna do it. Then we have something that there's a piece of paper between us and any damage or injury at some point. Because you had an instance where it was someone with a gun, correct? And now we had someone with an inappropriate field of fire.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, if you look at it from risk analysis, how they talk about accidents, we're heading up to that one.
Yeah.
You know,
But the same token, I talked about getting better than just waterproof things that I nail on a wall, get printed good signs. And I was basically told they're going to ignore it anyway, so why are we going to do it?
well, so yeah.
So yeah,
I will
we
try to find
a lot of effort to
yeah.
get it better, better. You know,
Is there some sort of designation you have to have it every 50 feet or one sign you have to be able to see the next sign?
You know, I'm not sure the exact number. I'm just aware of it that it's post conspicuously.
Yeah.
And also, I think that there's now a marking with purple paint that you can use.
that's private property.
That's private property.
Property.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know whether this falls under private property. You mean it's municipally owned?
Right.
So if you paint trees in a line purple,
That just says it's private
that
property.
shows that that's private property as compared to the adjoining.
Rather than putting
public
signs
land,
up,
you just paint purple.
but painting purple, I don't know if doing that is the
Yeah,
same as saying,
I'm not sure. I mean, that's.
it just lets them know that this is private property.
Right.
And they usually put that near game lands and stuff like that. where you
To
have to-
demarcate it from the public property.
From the public property is where it's typically done.
So what if John Doe wants to go archery hunting? Can he come in here and
him or her come in here and present that they want to do this, and we say, you know, do you have this, do you have that, do you have all the requirements, can they do that?
I think that would be a preferred route, you know, at this point in time, whether it was one person or a group or something like that. When we,
pick and choose who's doing it?
huh?
We would pick and choose who's doing it then?
They come in with an application, we either say yes or no. We don't have to agree.
So we have to.
We as in us?
Yeah, no, council,
Yeah, I think it's more there are groups.
right. Or,
I'm not saying we're higher, I'm saying,
oh, you're saying just for recreation?
So an individual.
Like you're saying, the property owner granting permission or not granting permission.
So that would be some kind of permit that we would issue to an individual hunter.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, that's what I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not adamantly against that act. I'm adamantly against the pyramid now that I keep seeing going to the top. So. And at least if someone came in and said, here, I've been hunting this long, and my license is this and that. Now we have a tracking of who should be up there, and we make them tell us when they're gonna be there and all that stuff. Because then we can always publicize, you know, the newsletter or
The
something.
only problem with that is get allegations of favoritism.
Sure, let them come in front of council, you know, there may be favorites in front of council, I don't know, but at least that's a fair chance, you know.
Hold the lottery.
I don't know if we have that many.
For a
you know.
particular day.
I don't favor us banning hunting. You know, some people enjoy, and we're gonna say, you can't do this anymore.
People enjoy playing basketball at 10 o'clock at night, and you did enjoy that.
No, you're right.
But they had the opportunity to play basketball. These
Right.
people can hunt during hunting season, a
Right.
prescribed time period, from a prescribed beginning of the day and a prescribed end of the day. They're legally allowed to
And
hunt.
many do rely on
And many-
land availability.
Right.
We're talking about that, but I think that there are some risks that you need to take into account as you make your, it's a policy decision. And
Yeah.
Risks you need to take into account.
Well, my personal opinion on this is we're almost through the hunting season. The only thing left shortly is there's another period of archery season in January. Until we know what we're gonna do to control the herd and have it, just rather than, well, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. or-
Well, Eddie, if you're gonna say there's a permit, should we at least go get a count or something like that? I mean, that's like, listen, I am totally ignorant on hunting, fishing and things like that. So when you guys say there's an overpopulation of deer up there, someone's gotta tell me how many deer live per acre, how many deer do we have? Do we mark them with purple paint so we know which ones are which? I mean, I'm like that. I know they come down to my yard and eat like
Yeah.
crazy. I'll let anybody hunt on my property if they want to come up. You know,
But they're not allowed.
I know. If it was a half a heart cage big enough, I would be trapping.
Yeah, it's, they're definitely out there. I'm in the woods virtually every day, and I see them multiple times a week.
They come
And,
down my house.
and sometimes,
Yeah.
Yeah. Many times one's a Tuesday, but sometimes one doesn't, here doesn't.
You know, I'm more than willing to wait, you know, another 30 days to see if another incident occurs, or we come up with a plan at the end of January or something like
Lauren
that.
said that it's easy to do a.
And then we have until next
Right.
September.
Right.
And if we're gonna do that, we ought to be doing it by early summer,
Right.
so that there's time to get it out,
Right.
notify. But, you know, there are a lot of people that have been hunting up there.
Can we as a borough declare like a public nuisance if we have too many deer and shoot out of season?
I know, that's preempted by.
Just asking, I don't know.
Yeah. Now, hunting is one of those areas where the rules are preempted by the state law, but.
The state-
Ireland.
Oh, you're not getting with that.
Yeah, I'm not sure of
The
that,
state
in
may
that,
allow.
that it's. I think Charles Evans Cemetery, I remember reading about it outside of the hunting season, having a calling of their population.
But I think they had to have some sort of permission.
Permission.
Right, that's what I
And
mean.
I'm saying, state law is preemptive on that. I don't think you can have a lot of local ordinances other than prevent, you know, whatever a private property owner can do.
Maybe you can call for a crop damage, and you can also weed out population that way.
They're eating our Atlantis trees, so we should, have crop
Well,
damage.
There's not too many of those left. Still one up by the water tank.
Why don't we put this, push this to agenda next time too, some more people here, you know, to give some input, you know. Yeah, I think, you know, once again, I don't care, but I just see this.
I wouldn't table it. I would just.
When you say that,
They talk about accidents and how to reduce accidents. Yeah. So you have all these near misses until you get the fatal accident. So we already have a guy out there with a gun who shouldn't be there, it should know better. We already have an archer up there who we think are better hunters because they're archers. Now he's field of view is in the wrong direction. So from a risk management person, you got the triangle.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
We've already witnessed a tree
Yeah,
stand,
yeah.
witnessed him shooting and arrows. And
Well, he was there.
he was
Yeah. It wasn't just a tree stand. He was there.
probably honest.
Yeah. So now my face goes down to, you know, a little bit. So, but let's push this into agenda item next month for,
Okay.
and let's try, do you want to go call Charles Evans Cemetery and ask them how they called season?
I could try to find.
Yeah, try to find that out.
What they've done.
Or who did they contact to do that or something like that?
The federal government has done it too, at Bella Ford Park.
Right, exactly. And that wasn't necessarily during hunting season.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it
Yeah,
was.
I don't.
I definitely remember that happening.
Right.
I know that was a very special, thing. They had hired snipers in there because it was so close.
Yeah, right, they hired, and they had to be well-trained
Yes.
and certified and.
It was, like ex-military sniper.
They just went down to Violent Force Military Academy, get their cadets to come up.
Bring them out.
So, you know, and then you have the whole question of what do you do when you're back there, we passed this resolution and you see hunters back there.
We get to call the police at that point, as far as I'm concerned, because it's their, am I correct? If we have a post?
And who do we call?
Whether you call the police or the game commission?
Well, the game commission probably is probably more appropriate, but if you were to say police, this is private property, what police do we call?
Central Berks, our police. It's our property. When it's involved in something accident. Let's make it different, we're still the property.
Yeah, it's an Exeter jurisdiction.
Yeah, so yeah, that's, and are they gonna go back a half a mile into the woods? The person who's gonna be totally yeah, it's the whole how you enforce it issue.
These are all good questions to ask.
You know what's easier to enforce? No hunting. I know.
He's not looking.
That's more difficult to enforce than having people that. I can almost guarantee you will see more hunters violating a no hunting rule than you currently see with a rifle up there. I've had a couple of examples of it.
See, now you're just giving me a lower impression of hunters, if they're gonna ignore signs and everything else.
You know,
Which I am not one. Again,
You add some,
huh?
you add some. Instead of ignoring.
Yeah. Joe, can you also do a little bit of research on this if we can
Sure.
kill out of season as a municipality?
yeah, I'm not advocating that necessarily, but.
No, it's just a question we ask. Yeah. Any other items for our agenda, which we would have to vote to amend the agenda to go talk about, or is there a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Motion been moved and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
Hey, Jack.
How much are Christmas trees this year? $80?
$180, and we've been told by many people that ours are
Better?
too cheap and better than what they've seen for